things. When you hear the phrase, "It's not a job, it's an adventure," what comes to your mind? I'm guessing you didn't think of a college professor whose other occupation is as close to wide-eyed adventure as you can get. Carolina Impact's B. Thompson introduces us to a Carolina girl who can take a fall with the best of them.
Well, I was basically a tomboy growing up. So I grew up with a bunch of guys, so I actually got in trouble because I wanted to play football and I wasn't allowed to have a bow and arrow or anything like that. Funny enough, I make my career out of the things that my mom was not too happy that I was into. Hi guys, I'm Dr. Kara Wooten. I'm here to do a stage combat workshop with you guys.
Here's a question for you. What happens when you combine a Carolina girl with a bit of tomboy spirit?
Okay. So what we're going to learn is what's called a back fall or a sit fall. And what you do
and then
is
you add in more than just a pinch of determination to seek adventure in life.
Oh! Okay, so that was a little high.
We're
right?
pretty sure
So again,
your end product would be Kara Wooten. College professor,
please don't.
farmer, and stunt woman. Yes, stunt woman.
Oh, God.
Teaching young students of theater just how to do stunts.
I actually started in theater and then basically ended up moving into being able to do film, theater, opera. It just kind of expanded from there.
That theater life began as a student at then Queens College.
Now step back right into a sit fall.
Since then, she's gotten a PhD and taught there, keeping her connection to academia.
So, if we're doing a grab or anything like that, obviously everything we're doing is fake.
Yet for this woman who has done numerous television and movie stunts, she wants young actors to understand the stunt work that's involved in theatrics is just as important as learning the lines.
Let me have 2 other volunteers with me. And
What Wooten has been able to do is combine a love of stunt work and theater into training these young thespians on how to fall safely while playing a role on stage.
I didn't realize that the fall was just like very graceful, land on your butt, kind of roll backwards fall. I thought that you just kind of threw yourself back and hoped you didn't break anything.
You have to be responsible for everything that you and your partners are doing. Every single piece of action is rehearsed and choreographed down to, like, what you'd see is somebody falling off of a building. What you don't see is the rig that they're falling into, and there's 4 safety people, 1 on each corner of the rig, so if they're a little bit off, they'll bounce them back in the rig.
Yet Wooten also sees the empowerment of what she does, and just how helping girls see their power is an important part of learning. For her, that lesson came as she began to understand the world of stunt work.
Women have always kind of played the victim, but the stories now are so great because women are finally getting more empowered. You're starting to see series with lead females who can kick butt.
Wooten admits to the bruises and the broken bones, but she points out doing it professionally and knowing how to perform a stunt correctly can make all the difference between a great shot and an injury. It's a major reason the stunt people do the stunts, not the big-name actors. She's currently in one Disney production, and she works on a series.
The series that I worked on, Bitten, the lead is a female. Dark Matter, which we're working on now, one of the main characters, the one who fights the most, is actually a woman, and it's just great.
Wooten does a lot of work internationally. She has dual Canadian citizenship. But when she comes back to the Carolinas, well, she decided having a farm in Monroe would be a pretty good thing.
You got to be able to put on a lot of different hats. And so, you know, sometimes I'm acting, sometimes I'm directing, sometimes I'm coordinating, sometimes I'm farming, sometimes I'm working as a carpenter. It's whatever you got to do to get the bills paid.
Good! Hey, for never doing that before, you're doing great, mate.
Meanwhile, this multitasking woman, albeit a Renaissance woman in her own right, is having an impact on the next generation.
I've always thought more of like what's going on up here and maybe even with my arms, but I didn't realize how much the actions could affect the feeling of the story.
For Carolina Impact, I'm B. Thompson reporting.
Thanks so much, Bea. In addition to camps, Kara also shares her knowledge with professional actors from Opera Carolina who learn the skills of falling without injury and how sword play can look real.